The key is to not prioritize what's on your schedule, rather schedule your priorities. How many times are you like, oh my goodness, I didn't have time for that, or that was really important, but that slipped through the cracks? It's all about scheduling your priorities. So my hope for me is this. I needed to hear that myself this morning. I need to make a list of what my priorities are. And I think that sounds a little silly sometimes, but if you really don't know where your priorities are, you definitely kind of falter in areas and wasting time and utilizing your time not so wisely. So today is the first day back to school. And part of me cringes and part of me celebrates, because part of me, I'm a summer mom. I love summers. I love the beauty of not having a full schedule, the beauty of just kind of last minute planning. But the reality is we all work a little better when we're on schedule. So I am looking forward to having some sort of schedule back into our routine. And to be quite honest with you, ever since Quentin's passing, our schedule has been nothing but chaotic. And so I am just looking forward to having a little bit of a routine in my schedule. But before I schedule my routine, or get a routine in my schedule, I need to make sure that I am scheduling my priorities. What are my priorities? My priorities really quickly are time with my kids. That is a high priority. Reclaiming the table, making sure I'm sitting down around the table and having dinner with my kids without devices. That I am scheduling in those intentional moments throughout the day with my kids, and I'm not letting that time slip between my fingers. So here's an analogy for you that I had heard, and I have not stopped thinking about it since I've heard it on a podcast, and it's this. Time is like an ice cube. So your time with your kids, your spouse, your loved ones, is like an ice cube. Let's talk about your kids for a moment, since it's back to school. Your kids are like an ice cube. They're in your hand. You get them all cutesy in a big cute little frozen ice cube when they're a baby, and it melts for 18 years. And it's like holding that ice cube, trying to treasure that ice cube as it starts to melt and go through your fingers. And before you know it, that ice cube has been completely melted and they are ready to fly the coop, my friend. And so I just want to encourage you to start scheduling your priorities. But how do you do that? You got to figure out what your priorities are first. So if dinner time is a non-negotiable for me, I'm going to figure out what time that is going to happen in my house, and I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to shut the world out for that moment of time and make it happen. Whether it's 4:30 in the afternoon after school or 9 o'clock at night, it might have to be different times for different seasons. I'm going to schedule in those priorities that are so important in my life before it starts to slip through my hands. So I hope that helps you, my friend. My mug says, make it happen. You are capable. Appreciate everything. Believe in yourself. Know that whatever you set out to do, you absolutely can do. Just start making it a priority, and schedule those priorities. Just know your priorities and start to make, just know those priorities and start scheduling them in. Just know what those priorities are and just know what those priorities are and start taking ink on your calendar, not a pencil. It's not something that you delete, and start inking them in. Start scheduling in those priorities this back to school season, and you'll start to see the dramatic chaos start to drop, the anxiety start to drop, because you are living a life full of intention instead of letting the day lead you. All right, my friends, have a great back to school season. When did your kids go back?